Okay, as a Man United fan, I'm going to talk about the draw we had with Leicester City. Well, I've got to say it was a pretty fair result considering we had a draw with, Leicester, a team that attacking wise is far, far better than us. They're on another level. Like we can't, and um, Jamie Vardy, breaking Ruud van Nistelrooy's record. I've got to say it's a bit disappointing given the fact that that he's an excellent player and he broke Ruud van Nistelrooy, probably one of the best strikers we've ever had in Man United, probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League's history. He's just an all world class legend, and Jamie Vardy has broken that record, and he's an excellent player. So well done to Jamie Vardy, and he's better than anyone we've got at the moment. And attacking wise, he's better than anyone we've got. He would get in our team because, like, he's better than Memphis. He's in better form than Lingard, the young developing player. He's done pretty well for us, and but he's better than Lingard. Mata, you know, he's better. He's in better form than Mata, but those are our attacking players, and he's on another level. He would easily get in our team. Martial would probably be the only one out of our team that could be on a par with him, but Martial's played out of position usually, and it's just not good enough. Not good enough from Van Gaal. And attacking wise, we're inferior to a lot of teams this season. We're inferior to not only Leicester, but we're inferior to Tottenham. We're inferior to Arsenal, and as it showed, Arsenal smashed us. We're inferior to Man City, even though we should have won that game. Well, Man City with their best players we're still far behind them, and even as pains me to say, I watched Liverpool versus Swansea last night. Liverpool's attack was way, way better than ours. Is way better than ours. And also, even Chelsea. I watched the Chelsea game last night. Parts of the game where Chelsea just dominated, had the better chances. There was more promise in their attack than our attack. So it's just not good enough, and it's because players are getting constantly played out of position, constantly being played out of position. And Louis Van Gaal has to take the blame. In my opinion, what I'd do, how the team would look like if I was manager. I'm not saying I'm a perfect manager. I'm not saying we should be any manager, but if I was just happened to be in charge, this is what I'd probably do. I'd put Martial up top. I'd put Mata as the attacking midfield, the centre attacking midfield behind the striker, where he played at Chelsea for most of the time when Chelsea, the 2 seasons when he was Chelsea's Player of the Year, when they won 3 trophies in 2 seasons, which included the Champions League and the FA Cup. And on the wings, it's a bit of a difficult one because I'd definitely put Lingard, and I'd probably put either. I'd probably put Memphis there. I'd probably give the young guys a go and just keep them there consistently, even though Memphis hasn't really performed up to scratch in the Premier League. Lingard has shown signs of quality, but he's still got a lot of developing to do. And in the central mid, I'd rotate the 3 central midfielders we've got in Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin, and Herrera. If we need to attack, I'd put either one of the defensive midfielders, Schweinsteiger or Schneiderlin, but I'd definitely have Herrera. If we're defending the league, I'd put both the defensive midfielders. That way, we kind of get the best from the central midfield in response to what we need from a game at the current time, and we and our central midfielders aren't overworked. There's less likely of fatigue, so I guess that would be a pretty good sign. But on a positive note, on a positive note, our defense has been really good, and I'll get to that. But notice I haven't mentioned one name, and this, I talked about Ruben Nistelrooy being one of Man United's greatest ever strikers. This guy would probably also, that I haven't mentioned, probably would also fit into that category with Ruben Nistelrooy, is Wayne Rooney, but he just hasn't been up to it, and there's no point in playing him. He's a legend to the club. You can't deny he's done a lot for our club. He has contributed immensely to us winning major trophies over the years, but he's just not good enough anymore, and we've got to drop him. Or as Adam McCullough for the Full-Time Devils, I'm a huge fan of the Full-Time Devils. You guys are an excellent channel. Quoted, and I'll quote this: we either need to rest him or something, but we just can't keep playing. And we're sucking the not playing Martial out front regularly is just kind of sucking the we're just hindering his development to accommodate a legend that was really good many years back, but isn't good now. So we need to drop him. And I personally would have sold him in the summer. I'm from Australia, but your summer, like the European summer, the Northern Hemisphere summer, and I would have kept Di Maria, and I would have just tried to, I guess, accommodate to his needs or whatever. Just better. Louis van Gaal was probably too strict on him, and he probably needed to better man manage him. And imagine if we had Mata behind Martial, and we had Lingard on one wing, younger, and we had Di Maria. We'd be a much better attacking team. And so yeah. But in terms of our defense, it's actually, I've got to say, Louis van Gaal has improved our defense a lot, because even in the last few, even not only, we've struggled defensively for a bit, even up in the final years of Sir Alex Ferguson. In the last season, we struggled defensively quite a bit, and that almost, cost us some really important games where we could have lost the title that season. But we've got the best defense in the league. So I was saying how we were inferior to all those teams defensively. Those teams I mentioned, we were actually doing really well defensively. And Chris Smalling, a few seasons ago, I didn't rate him, but now he's one of England's best defenders. He's done really well. David De Gea, what more can you say? He's a world-class goalkeeper, definitely one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And personally, I think he's the reason why we qualified for the Champions League last season. If it wasn't for him, we would not have qualified for the Champions League. And we've got a great defensive midfielder in Schweinsteiger, and we've got a pretty decent one in Schneiderlin. So defensively, we're doing really well. But the tactics he's employing is just it's not fun to watch. But our position at the moment isn't too bad. I think we're 1 point off the top of the table. Man City, a team who have spent a lot of money over the years, to put it lightly. And so we're not doing too bad. If we win our next game in the Champions League, we qualify. We top the group, and we qualify to the round of 16. So look, the position is pretty good. We've still got the FA Cup to come. We never know what happens there. So we're actually in touch for the treble. So how good would that be? Even if this whatever style Louis van Gaal plays, works. But even if he continues on, and this defensive format, leads us to winning the treble, that would be excellent. That would be really good, because entertaining football doesn't always win you trophies. Just ask Jose Mourinho, because his defensive football, in the back half of last season, Chelsea were really brilliant and excellent in attack for the first half of last season, but in the second half of last season, Chelsea just defended. That's how they won the League Cup in the semi-final and the final. and that's how they ended up winning the title, being defensive. They got over in the last few games of last season, and also that's how Inter won the Champions League 5 seasons back, because they were just defensive, and that's how they knocked Barcelona out. So all in all, I'm saying is if it works, if Louis Van Gaal's philosophy, as he calls it, works, you know what? Good on him. I'm happy to see trophies. We haven't had trophies for a couple of seasons, so more than welcome that. More than welcome. But if it doesn't work, let's just look at some other facts. If we happen in the Champions League, if we happen to draw and PSV win, then we are out. And PSV play a team who's at the bottom of the Champions League table, so they're pretty likely to beat us. They're pretty likely to beat them, and we're away. And if we don't win and they get the result that they're probably most likely to get, we're out of the Champions League. We don't even qualify for the round of 16, and even David Moyes qualified us for the round of 16. So we're not. That's in one sense a failure, and also, we're apart from being I think it's like we're 1 point behind Man City or something like that. We're actually, I think, in 25. We're like 3 points behind, one win. Only one win in front of Tottenham, the team who's coming fifth at the moment. So we're not actually, our spot in the Champions League top 4 is far from secure. So it's far from secure. And I've just mentioned the best case scenario, and I've just mentioned the worst possible scenarios. Which one is more likely? Okay, for the Premier League, okay, let's say we drew against Leicester, an excellent attacking team, they deserve to be where they are, and we got outplayed by them, and in an attacking sense, I'm just going through teams in the top 5. Arsenal, we got smashed. Tottenham, we had a draw against them on the first day. Actually, no, we beat them on the first day. No, we beat them on the first day. Sorry, that's their only loss. They've improved a lot since then, but they were very, poor. They were very poor that day, but they've improved a lot. So, yeah, it's in the balance. And Man City probably our best performance out of what we had a draw, and we should have won that game. So, it's a bit. It's going to be interesting to see where this season goes for us. But in my opinion, if we achieve, the worst case scenario, miss out on the top 4 and get knocked out of the Champions League, can't even make the knockout stages, then after all the money is spent and the fact that we've had to watch this boring football, Louis Van Gaal would need to go in that scenario. There's no doubt we couldn't keep him after he spent all that money and we get virtually nothing from it. But if we achieve the best case scenario, and not winning the treble, because that's very unlikely. It's not going to happen. It's more than likely not going to happen. But if we can get, if we can challenge for the title under this new system, and maybe send it to the final day, because I personally don't think we'll win the title, but I think we'll qualify for the Champions League, and we can go and we can make the round of 16, and we can go far in the FA Cup. Well, you know what? That's a pretty decent achievement. That's a pretty decent season. We should be challenging for trophies because we're a massive club. We're an honest, loyal. We're a hard-working club, and we never give up. We always aim to achieve success, but we haven't achieved that of late. And every team goes through their rough patches, but yeah. So then, if we achieve, say, a fairly modest season, qualifying for the Champions League, qualifying for the knockout stages, and going maybe semi-final, final in the FA Cup, you know what? Definitely keep him. Even playing on this boring system, definitely keep him. But give it a couple seasons, then there would be definitely need to be more stricter. How do you put it? stricter warnings to Louis van Gaal, saying either you need to play attractive football and you need to start winning trophies, otherwise you need to get out. That's maybe for a couple of seasons' time. But anyway, that's my take on Man United season review. Okay, it's gone on a little bit long. I apologise for that. I hope you guys at the Full Time Devils like it. Massive Man United fan. I've been one since I was a child, and yeah, to prove it, I'm not a glory hunter fan. I liked them when in the early Mourinho years, where Chelsea were the team that's on top, that were on top, they were winning the league, and Arsenal were winning the league in the Invincibles. So yeah, the Man United, they're an honest club, hard working club, and I hope they do well for the rest of the season. See you later. Bye.